Okay, so verse 2, nations will see your victory vindication, and every king will witness your blinding radiance. You will be called by a brand new name given to you from the mouth of Yahweh himself. You will be a beautiful crown held high in the hand of Yahweh, a royal crown of splendor, held in the open palm of your God. You will never again be called the abandoned one, nor will your land be called deserted. Why is the land called deserted? Because you've been functioning as if you're abandoned. Right? See the connection. When he starts talking about who you are, he'll start talking about the land. You will never again be called the abandoned one, nor will your land be called deserted. But you will be called, my delight is in you. Hephzibah. It means the Lord takes delight in you. And I think the Lord takes delight in you is the graduate level of beloved identity. Not just he loves you, because there's some of us that feel like he loves us because he's good, but I'm worthless. No, he takes delight in you. But you don't know how messed up I am. Yeah, but I do know that Micah 7 said he delights in showing mercy. So mercy is not something God does because of how bad you need it. He gets excited in showing mercy. He delights in showing mercy. Your name is the Lord delights in you. There's a transformation that's not going to begin to take place until you and I are willing to sit still and accept that God doesn't just love us because he's God and he has to. He actually takes delight in us. You delight in me. This is what religion does. Religion takes immature sincerity and makes it hypocrisy. And because you're not fully mature, you think you're hypocritical. What you actually have is infantile sincerity, which God's fascinated with. I wish somebody would have told me that. Because this is what the Pharisaical spirit does. It says you've got to be functioning up here or it's not sincere. And he said, I don't care how small it is, as long as it's sincere. I don't care how many times you mess up, as long as it's sincere. I delight in showing mercy, so you falling and getting back up doesn't mess with me, doesn't make me change how I feel about you. It just lets me show you a measure of my delight that I couldn't show you before when you were trying to act like you had it all together. I just need you to say, hey, I need mercy. And he says, that's awesome. Is this one of the ways I delight myself in you? And there are people in this room, and you feel like you're insincere because you don't measure up yet. You're sincere because you still want to. Somebody would have told me this 20 years ago when I felt like I was a failure, when I shied away from his presence, when I recoiled whenever he came near, because I knew I wasn't full grown yet. You're not supposed to be full grown yet. You're just supposed to have infantile sincerity. I'm not there, but I want to be. Come on, I'm not there, but I'm here again. I hadn't made it through everything. I'm not still struggle. I still get knocked off track. I still lose my way from time to time, but there's something in me that wants everything you have for me, and I'm going to refuse to call myself insincere because my sincerity is immature. What measure of his delight have we cut ourselves off from because we're abusing ourselves because we need mercy again? And it's new every morning, and it endures forever. I got mercy again today. It's new every morning and endures forever. And he doesn't say, God, I'll show him mercy again. He delights in showing mercy. And you know what we make? Listen, we're huge on that as long as it's for the unbeliever. As long as everybody in the room will shout when God gives mercy to the unbeliever. But what about the individual who needs it to be new again in the morning because they're maturing in their sincerity? Come on, it doesn't mean you're going to have an excuse to be dysfunctional the rest of your life. It's going to mean if you don't allow him to start delighting in you where you are, you're never going to become who you are actually designed to be. You're going to have to realize he's not staying away from you until you grow up. He's not staying away from you until you're not tempted anymore. He's not staying away from you until all your thoughts are pure. He said, I'm coming to delight myself in you in the middle of an hour in which you need mercy. And that becomes this unbelievable grace to grow up, because you can't legally grow spiritually outside of presence. And if you believe he's withdrawing from you because you're in need of mercy, instead of the fact he delights in Hephzibah. What's your name? Hephzibah. Are you kidding me? What's your name? He delights in you. Let me just, this part right here, this is so big, because I think if we don't understand that he delights in showing mercy. Okay. You need to first of all understand lost coin, lost sheep, lost son. None of them deal with the issue of ownership. They're all three stories of displacement. The woman owned the coin all along, it just wasn't in the right place. The man owned the sheep all along, it just wasn't in the right place. The father was the father to the son all along. The son was just outside of the position he was designed to be in. What mercy does is repositions you to come back into the place where your full value can be seen, instead of trying to manifest value, manifest value outside of presence. So in Luke 15, I could do all of them, I could do all of them right now. But I'm gonna skip to the last one. Okay. And what happened was, you know the story. The son asked for the portion of goods that falleth to him. There's a measure that was to belong to his brother. There was a measure that was belonged to him. So the son goes out. He takes the measure of the inheritance that belongs to him. He wasted on harlots and riotous living. He just parties and blows the whole thing. Yeah, it's a great story. Real encouraging. He loses everything. He ends up farming pigs. He's feeding something he's not allowed to eat. He's feeding something that can never nourish him. Come on. So he's feeding the pigs, and the Bible says something really fascinating. It says, and one day he came to himself. One day he said, this is not who I am. See, one of the first things that'll get you out of slop is agreement with who you actually are. And some of you think you please God because you roll around in that and tell him how dirty you are, and he needs you to come to yourself. One of the first ways you'll get back into the Father's presence is to identify, I'm better than this. This is not actually who I am. I may be struggling with this, but he delights in showing mercy. I may be, this is filth. Listen, as long as you think dirty, you'll act filthy. And the first thing that has to happen is you have to let the kindness of God come re-identify you and say, there's no way I should be living like this, not when I have a father like the one that I have. The father stood on the porch and watched for the son and wanted the day to come when the son realized, I'm better than this. This is not who I am. You know the story. He goes walking back to the father. He rehearsed his speech. Father, I've sinned against heaven and I've sinned against you, and I'm no longer worthy to be called your son. Just make me as one of your hired servants. Father, I've sinned against heaven and I've sinned against you. I'm no longer worthy to be called your son. Just make me as one of your hired servants. Man, there's a lot here. So he starts moving toward the father. The father starts moving toward him. They have the embrace. The father kisses him over and over. That's what that word literally means right there. The father kisses him over and over and kisses him over and over. And he starts, if he'd stop kissing me, I'd do my speech. This is what I think we do. I think sometimes we stop God from kissing people to get them to confess how nasty that they are, because we think the breakthrough is going to come if they can come into agreement with the fact that they're nasty. They know that they're nasty. The Father knows that they're nasty. He's trying to fix it with a kiss. What if the next phase of revival is not going to be God coming into agreement with their filthy? It's going to be God saying, none of that stops my lips from finding the place where I'm able to properly identify them. So just kissing him over, just kiss. I can just see him just kissing him over and over. Just kissing him over, just kissing him over and over again. Kissing him. But Father, if you'll stop that, I'll tell you, I got a speech prepared and I'll tell you I've sinned against. He knows that. Just let him kiss you. Stop this, man. I just feel like saying tonight, somebody quit trying to convince him that you're really, 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 really sorry, because you think you being really, really, really sorry is what's going to keep you on track. He'll kiss you into faithfulness if you'll let him. It won't be your speech that brought your breakthrough. It'll be his kisses that established you in a place where you felt safe with him showing his delight in you. Regardless of how you smell and regardless of what you were rolling in before you got here, his kisses will re-identify you. The point the Father interrupts his speech is right before the boy says, I'll work my way back into your favor. I'm saying this makes the religious spirit go, no. I'm saying, because many people will not embrace the kiss because they've not earned it yet. And he delights in showing mercy. If I can prove for the next 5 years that I'll be faithful, then I can earn my way back. He said, ring right now. Robe right now. Let's throw a party right now. Everything you came in here with, I already have something to cover your filth and your shame. And what you need to do is you need to deal with the fact that my love is so big that I actually delight in covering up everything you just made a mess of. Interesting. The son's dealing with shame. The brother's dealing with performance orientation. And do you know what the Father won't let the shameful son do? Stay in the measure of shame that leads to performance. I'm going to interrupt your speech right there, because you're not going to be a hireling in a place where those kind of kisses are available.